Hi friends, and welcome back to playing tribute to... I almost said Phoenix Wright first, darn. Professor Layton versus Phoenix Wright, Ace Attorney. Oh my goodness, that's also a really long title. It's like all of that. Professor Layton versus Phoenix Wright, Ace Attorney. Where we are smack dab in the middle of our first trial of the game, where we are trying to defend Espella Cantabella, who seems to be all zombified, hypnotized. Something is going on with her. She was trying to plead guilty. We're not going to have it. So, yeah, looks like we're just kind of reviewing and recapping the case here. Let's see what Phoenix and Maya have to talk about while we're in between witnesses. Everybody loves Johnny Smiles, but he had to go. He was an unreliable witness, so, you know. Phew. Glad the first part's over. That witness was quite a character. I bet he'd love to be one. In a crime drama. He'd end up making it a comedy, though. I'd hate it if poor Espella was found guilty because of his shaky testimony. Indeed. He didn't even see half of it. He was wearing sunglasses in the dark. But at least now it looks like we might be able to get Espella a not guilty verdict. Yeah, I hope that cheered Espella up a bit. Oh no, we're in trouble. I forgot about Dark Law. I didn't. She's reading my newspaper. Maybe it's just me, but she doesn't look pleased. Oh, it's you. I appreciate your efforts, Mr. Wright. Thank you. But while I understand your drive to win this case... My drive? If this is not the time for your personal ambitions. I don't... I told you before, didn't I? That Espella is pleading guilty, and that you should accept the proposed punishment. This incident has already been settled between our school and the police. But Miss Darklaw, Espella could be innocent. Believe me, it will be in Espella's best interest if you end the trial as soon as possible. The more this trial drags on, the more traumatic it is for this poor girl. I'm sorry. She may be saying that she's guilty. Is she really? In any case, Mr. Wright, we don't want our school being shoved into the limelight because of this case. So if you could please refrain from looking at meaningless details such as that toy. Get this trial over with quickly. This is your client's wish, Mr. Wright. I understand. I'll do my best. It's a relief to hear that. Let's go, Espella. Yes, Miss Darklaw. What the heck was that all about? We've been busting our butts in there trying to prove Espella is innocent, and she expects us to just give up now? Why are you yelling at me, Maya? What do you think about it? Darklaw's acting very strange. Her own pupil's on trial, and she just stands around reading other people's newspapers. Yeah, what's she so busy reading about anyway? There's nothing about Espella in that paper. Is she checking the soccer scores or something? I believe they call it football in England. It's not too British, apparently. They call it football in England, as well as all the other European areas. The front page is about the jewel thieves. I wonder about the jewel thieves. The break is almost over. We'd better go back. Flinch looked really confident about this new witness. I'm Espella's defense attorney. I'll stand by her no matter what. Yep, that's Phoenix's way. The court will now reconvene. Prosecution, is your witness ready? Of course, Your Honor. And bailiff, please bring her in. Is this the girl that was attacked? Oh, witness, state your name and occupation. investigation.
My name is Olivia Al Dente.
I'm not gonna match that accent, guys.
The warm winds of the Mediterranean Sea carry the spicy scent of a seafood stew. A hot Sicilian stew that soothes the hearts of sailors braving the raging waters.
Okay, whatever you say.
Blessed be the Sicilian cuisine and il nostro mare.
Yes, Miss Al Dente is employed as a cook in the freighter where the crime happened.
A cook, that's interesting entirely, Miss Al Dente. This is my work outfit. It gets very hot in the kitchen, you know.
It wasn't change after that chocolate guard. It got on my nose.
Nice to see the judges remaining impartial.
Miss Al Dente discovered the defendant in the cargo hold when she went for supplies.
She found Espella? That would make her the crew member that Johnny saw fighting with Espella.
Oh, that is right, Mr. Wright. Miss Al Dente was the first person to discover the intruder.
Then she's the victim of assault! Hit with a steel pipe! Cruel. If I'd only had my precious kitchen knife with me at the time. Oh. Is that a potato? I'd have shown her my exceptional cutting skills. Nick, look at that! She's an expert potato peeler. You better watch out around her. I'll keep that in mind. Witness, we will now hear your testimony. Describe to us what happened in the cargo hold. Certamente, gladly. She's like always dancing or something. Just, come on now. I went to the cargo hold to check the supplies. It was past 10 p.m. And I found that girl hiding and clutching one of them bizarro toys. She made as if to run away, so I tried to stop her. Then she grabbed a pipe. She's short, but she fiercely swung the pipe at me. I tried to dodge, but she hit me on the head. I blacked out for a few minutes. As I'm watching her dance, my head is like moving in time with it. According to the medical reports, you suffered a laceration on your head, correct? That. It's covered by the chef hat, so you can't see it now. But when I chop up veggies, it hurts in the rhythm of the strikes. Chop, chop, chop. Ouch. That sounds most terrible, Miss Al Dente. I should have been more careful, but she looked like a little piccolad girl. Olivia's much taller than Espella. Yeah, Espella's about the same size as you. I may be short, but I'm well proportioned, and that's what matters. What is that supposed to mean, Maya?
Your Honor, the prosecution would like to present the decisive evidence that proves the defendant's guilt. This is a photograph of the defendant's fingerprints on the steel pipe. As you can see, the fingerprints are very clear. They were left by the assailant.
Wait, what's going on with how they're being held? Wait, that's not right. Okay.
They have already been examined and found to be those of the defendant.
Well, settles it. This is undoubtedly decisive evidence. They always love to throw the term decisive evidence around. The fingerprints on the weapon are Espella's?
Just to put your inquisitive mind at peace, Mr. Wright, there were no other fingerprints.
This photograph shall be added to the evidence.
Have I not warned you, Mr. Wright?
Hold on, let me look at that again. If you... What is she... underhanding it? Like, look at how it's at the top of or the bottom, or whatever. But if she was holding it like that, she wouldn't be able to hit anything. She would have to be like, it would be more like a crowbar, like she's digging something. Maybe she was digging something? She definitely didn't hit anybody with that.
A further examination is but a waste of time.
Nick, what do we do now? This evidence clearly points to Espella. We're pleading that Espella's not guilty. And if she's innocent, then this witness is lying. All we need to do is expose that lie. We've got to think straight and focus on finding the truth. The defense may cross-examine the witness. Okay, I need to know about the toy because Starklaw said something specifically about the toy. I also need to know about her holding the pipe. Because it was weird how it was.
Hold it!
And this bizarre toy she was holding was none other than...
PC Badger, was it? The girl held it in a tight grip like a sea hawk holds its prey.
Are you certain it was the defendant?
It was kinda dark in that room, but I swear on Neptune it was her. The witness was engaged in a face-to-face fight with the defendant. Even if the room was poorly lit, there's no doubt she would recognize her assailant.
Espella was holding a PC Badger. Did she intend to steal it?
What did the witness do upon discovering the intruder?
Hold it!
The defendant tried to escape.
She had nowhere to run, though, as she was at the far end of the room. I'm really good at catching chickens that try to run from the knife, so I caught her, rapidamente. And when you caught her, things took a violent turn? Yeah, she was so small, you know, you wouldn't think she had it in her. There was a steel pipe propped against the wall right next to her.
Is it the pipe from this picture?
Yeah, she picked it up and held it in her both arms. And then...
Yeah, but she couldn't have swung it in the position that it's in, so I'm trying to figure out how to show that. You're sure it was the defendant that swung the pipe at you?
Objection! We know it was the defendant because her fingerprints were found on the weapon. As you can see, she held the pipe with both hands, just as the witness has stated.
Espella's fingerprints. That's some hard evidence, but then again... What is it, Nick? There's something about those fingerprints. Oh, it sounds like you're onto something, Nick. Don't get too excited, it's just a hunch. These fingerprints, they don't look quite right to me for some reason. Espella swung this pipe while holding it in both hands.
In any case, pray tell what happened after the defendant took a swing at you?
Is that it telling me to... Whoops. Doesn't have to be anything wrong with her testimony. I was wondering if that was it telling me to present there. Got any ideas, Nick? One piece of evidence has been on my mind. It's not something easy, but it feels out of place. Yeah, okay. Present that. Whoops, not that. This. Right?
Objection!
Okay, alright. I was just making sure. So it wasn't very clear that it is a contradiction. You're claiming that the defendant swung this pipe at you. Well, that's impossible.
Why do you say that, sweetie?
The defendant's fingerprints were found on the pipe. However, there is a contradiction here.
A contradiction? Impossible! That is most interesting. Oh, well then, the defense shall explain. What in the photo of the fingerprints contradicts the testimony? The position of the fingerprints. It's the position of the fingerprints, Your Honor. Right? Because it's like how they're held. According to the witness's testimony, the defendant held the pipe like this. In order to hit the witness on the head, she raised the pipe like so. That is precisely what she did. And then she struck her glove. But here's the problem. Think about the fingerprints she would have left had she done just that. Oh, what are you getting at, Mr. Wright? Look closely at the way I'm holding the pipe. In this situation, the fingerprints would look like this. The thumb is above the other fingers. Indeed, there's no doubt about it. Now take a look at the fingerprints that were actually left on the pipe. Goodness, the thumb, it's below the other fingers. What? That's right, Miss Al Dente. What is it? Had the defendant attacked you as you described, the fingerprints would have been the other way around. Which means something's not right with your testimony. Order, order! What is the meaning of this? These fingerprints were submitted as decisive evidence. How come this contradiction was not brought to light before? No! Ms. Al Dente, what do you have to say about this? Oh, that looks dangerous. Excuse me, Miss Al Dente. Know how to bring out the full sweetness of a sweet potato? Huh? You use a pinch of salt. Interesting, right? You use salt to make something taste sweeter. I'm not following. I remember it now. It was the other way around. Not as you'd expect it. I'm sorry. I got a bit confused. You normally hold a pipe like that. But she's so small and the pipe is heavy. She held it the other way. The other way? Not like this. She held it in this way.
Objection!
But you testified that she fiercely swung the pipe at you. I'm telling you, I got confused. Olivia's sorry, okay? How could you mistake the way she held the pipe if she was right in front of you? Oh, why don't you go fry an egg? What does it matter if she held it one way or another? You wouldn't call it a slightly salted sweet potato. Salty potato, because it's still a sweet potato, no matter what you add to it. The witness probably has a point, doesn't she, Mr. Wright? So the defendant attacked the witness, holding the pipe backhanded. It seems a bit unnatural, but it does make sense, I suppose. Indeed it does, Your Honor. There is no problem with this evidence after all. Does defense agree? I agree that there are no problems with this evidence. We want some way from losing this case. There's gotta be a contradiction somewhere in that fishy testimony. Could Espella have hit Olivia holding the pipe backhanded? No.
Objection!
Well, Miss Al Dente, I'm afraid that you're in a pickle now. I don't really see why. Adding a pack of lies to a testimony can turn things very sour for a witness. It would seem the defense is prepared to prove its claim. But there is a contradiction in this witness's testimony. Correct, Your Honor. Until I try. The defense shall now present evidence to the court. Evidence contradicting the assertion that the defendant hit the witness holding the pipe backhanded. Yes. It would have to be the fact that she's shorter, right? Because it was to the back of the head. It was the back of the head. It wasn't like like if she was holding it down like that, she couldn't swing it up to her head. If the excuse is that it was too heavy. Right?
Take that!
Miss Al Dente, you previously testified that you were using that hat to cover the wound you received in the assault. It is normal for signoritas to cover up things they don't want others to see. That's not all. You also described the defendant as little, if you recall. That is to say, Miss Cantabella is at the very least shorter than you. I've grown tall and healthy thanks to the wonderful Mediterranean sunshine. Let me ask you then. How did a girl shorter than you, holding a heavy pipe backhanded, manage to land a blow to the back of your head? I'd say it's impossible. The fingerprints on the weapon show that the defendant held it backhanded. But even if she didn't, it is highly unlikely she would be able to hit Miss Al Dente's head like that. Order, I will have order. What is the defense getting at?
Objection!
Even if it was highly unlikely, it cannot be proven that it was impossible. Miss Cantabella's fingerprints were found on that pipe. Nothing can change the fact that it was the defendant who held the weapon. That's assuming it's the weapon. That is so. There's a defense winning on this. Can't deny that. It's clear that Espella did hold that pipe. She held it like this, right? Why would she do that? It'd be hard to hit anyone like this. Is she defending herself? She holds it like that. It looks as if... The court recognizes the validity of the prosecution's objection. Fingerprints on the weapon prove that it was used by the defendant.
Objection!
The defendant's fingerprints may be on the pipe. However, that doesn't prove she hit anyone with it.
Objection!
Nonsense! What else would she pick up a steel pipe for?
Objection!
Oh, I think I've got a pretty good idea. Well, the defense may elaborate on this idea. What I say next will turn this trial around. The defendant's fingerprints were left on the weapon when she tried to defend herself. Well, naturally. She held the pipe with both hands when she stopped it from coming down on her head. Oh, so it was, she was, okay. She was stopping the pipe, not that she was, I was seeing it as like a sword deflecting it or something. Stopped it. With both hands. That's right, like this. Please take another look at this photo. These are not the fingerprints of an assailant, but rather the fingerprints of a victim who was defending herself. Which brings us to the conclusion that Miss Cantabella didn't attack the witness. She was in fact a victim desperately trying to defend herself. This cannot be!
And if Miss Cantabella was a victim, who was the real assailant? There's only one person who could have done it. The only other person at the crime scene was Olivia Al Dente. It was you, wasn't it? Oh, I've missed this music. Order, order, order! If I cannot have order, the court will be adjourned. Be quiet, all of you. Oh, I don't think that's him. I think that's Al Dente. Quiet, all of you! You just don't quit, do you? A lousy lawyer like you should get the chop. How about I show you my knife up close?
Objection!
You lost your mind, Mr. Wright. The witness is the victim, not the assailant. There are no fingerprints other than the defendant's on the weapon.
Objection!
Look at the witness's outfit. She's wearing gloves. That's why she left no fingerprints.
Ah, you prickly sea urchin!
Objection!
But you cannot be sure she was wearing gloves that night.
Objection!
The witness has called this her work outfit, so she must have been wearing it when she went to check supplies.
You devious lawyer, slippery as an eel.
It was me because I had gloves on? As if it was only me wearing gloves. She's the only one in the courtroom wearing gloves. There was that guy. The guard, he was wearing gloves too. Guard. Oh, was that the previous witness? Oh, that's right. Gloves are part of the guard's uniform by regulation. He never follows regulation. See, that guard Johnny, he was wearing gloves that night too. What do you say to that, Mr. Wright? I think we can finally use that torch as evidence. Since you're claiming that the assailant is the person who had gloves on, that would make the guard assessment as well. Can Johnny be the culprit? They would have chocolate on there. Johnny Smiles is not the culprit. Why not? Anyone with gloves could have done it. Didn't you just say that? No, I didn't. However, it does seem possible that the guard could have done it. He was wearing gloves after all. I'm afraid that's impossible, Your Honor. And I have proof. You do?
Fascinating. Let's see this proof, if you really have it. Please enlighten us as to why Smiles cannot be the culprit. Provide the proof.
I've been waiting to use
Take that!
Mr. Smiles is, to put it nicely, what you may call a free spirit. There is no guarantee he would follow the rules and wear his full uniform. And this evidence proves he did not wear gloves.
Wait, don't throw that filthy torch at me!
Will someone please wipe the chocolate off the evidence? Don't do that. No, Your Honor. This chocolate is the evidence.
What?
Mr. Smiles was snacking on a chocolate bar during his patrol. And that's why his flashlight is in this sorry state. And covered in his chocolatey fingerprints. Therefore, we know that he didn't wear gloves when patrolling the ship that night. Rule-breaking chocolate bar from Johnny Smiles was not the culprit. What? That's ridiculous. It's too silly.
Objection!
Your Honor, the defense has merely pointed out a possibility. To call this witness a criminal without actual evidence against her is preposterous.
Objection!
The prosecution's duty is to clear what doubts there may be regarding the defendant's guilt. And I have demonstrated that there is, at the very least, a possibility that the witness is not telling the truth.
Objection!
At the very least, Espella Cantabella is not innocent.
As corroborated by a PC Badger, the toy that she attempted to steal. What was that? Did Olivia just freeze for a second? Prosecutor Fletcher, explain to the court about this toy, this new piece of evidence.
This is the stuffed toy that the defendant tried to steal that night.
Its legs would appear to be missing, poor thing.
This mishap FLBC Badger as the witness and defendant were fighting. The captain of the freighter reported that the damage was after the defendant's arrest. So, this is the stuffed animal Olivia snatched from Espella. So is Olivia trying to steal it? I see. The court would like to hear the witness's testimony regarding this evidence. A witness, your testimony. Excuse me, witness. You have been asked to testify. Ah. I'm so very sorry. I got a little upset from all these accusations. I'm not used to this, to being called a liar. Ah, yes, it's only natural. Don't worry about that. It's all the slimy attorney's fault. Why do I feel like an eel on a chopping board? The witness will now testify. Tell us how you retrieved this toy from the defendant. Gladly. Oh, il nostro mare. I wonder what she's saying. I don't get it. Whatever she said, I'll make sure this is the last time she says it in court. I wrestled this toy back from that thief and then gave it to the police. When I found that girl, I thought I couldn't let her get away with our precious cargo. Naturalmente, I had to get that toy back from her first. Its leg got ripped off, though. But there's no way I could have attacked her. With a pipe, I was holding the toy in one hand. I don't remember much about when I was in, but I got the toy back at least. I see. What a commendable attitude, going to such lengths to protect the cargo. I may not be a security guard, but I'll do what it takes for the sake of our ship. It didn't do much good in the end. This PC Badger is way too damaged to be sold. These lovely little toys are made at a workshop in London. We transport them down the River Thames, distributing them to children as we go. Didn't she call them bizarro toys earlier? And now suddenly they're cute? And what about fingerprints on this toy? It is a soft toy after all, so no useful fingerprints were found. Well, that is unfortunate. Regardless, the court accepts it into evidence. I don't know what we're getting at here. The defense may now cross-examine the witness.
Hold it!
I'm under the impression that she stole it, but I don't know why. The only thing I can think of is that, like, especially with the leg broken, maybe she can stuff something inside of it. But there's no way to tell. There's a little London tag. When you entered the cargo hold, Espella had this stuffed animal? Naturalmente, I got her red-handed. She was trying to steal it. I'm telling you. To be honest. It doesn't sound like she's lying. But is Espella really a thief? You can't be sure about it. Just picking something up doesn't make you a thief. Anyway, something else in her testimony is on my mind right now. As the defense changed its mind about the innocence of the client now, let's continue the testimony. What did you do after coming across the defendant?
Hold it!
Okay, so they fought over it and the leg ripped off. Stuffed animal's leg got ripped off when you were fighting. Yes. It came off easier than the shell of a freshly boiled lobster. Let's see. This thing does seem kind of flimsy. Stop picking on PC Badger. He may be a plushie, but there's no reason to make fun of him. It's not made very well, though. It looks like it might just come apart if you pull it a bit. I I ripped it out of the girl's hands and kept it with me until the police came. So,
Hold it!
the toy has the tag on it, but that's because it's the tag. Tag torn from PC Manager, Espella's classic interview, seized by Smiles. And then there's this one. Is it implying that that's the same tag? Or is there an extra tag in here? So you didn't hit the defendant with a steel pipe. Aren't you forgetting who's the victim here, sweetie? I am, and I didn't strike myself with that pipe. Aren't you getting things backwards? Feeling dizzy? Maybe you haven't been eating properly. She's right. Someone else must have hit her. Maybe I shouldn't be saying this, but...
Hold
in
it!
its fullness. You remember much about it? Yeah, and the room was dark because only the emergency light was on. But there was definitely no one else in that room, only me and that little girl. So it had to be her that hit me. She's not having second thoughts about that. So that's it, huh? Well, Nick? You're finally starting to act like your normal self. That jet lag must have hit you like a ton of bricks, huh? There's a clear contradiction in Olivia's testimony. Okay, I think it is saying that the toy was not in one piece because I accidentally hit the hint button because I didn't see that that was a thing. Okay, I'm gonna present this.
Objection!
That was not the thing to present. No! I won't get all my Pickerots because I messed up. Is there something obvious I'm missing?
Objection!
Yeah, sorry, I did it on the wrong line. Miss Al Dente, I would like to confirm just one thing. The stuffed animal you submitted to the police. Is this the one? Yeah, that's the one. No doubt about it. I'm sorry, but if that's the case, things simply don't add up. What doesn't add up? If it's about the leg, it's that girl's fault. It got ripped off because she wouldn't let go. The problem is not something that's missing from the stuffed animal. On the contrary, it's something that shouldn't be there in the first place. It's something that shouldn't be there. And that is, of course, this item. This is the final piece of evidence received from the guard, Mr. Smiles. Strange, isn't it? Something was definitely ripped off this plushie. But it wasn't its leg, it was the tag. You noticed it too, didn't you, Miss Al Dente? If this is the stuffed animal that Miss Cantabella was holding when you found her, then why is the tag still on it? Order! I will have order. What is the meaning of this? Hey, you tasteless-looking prosecutor over there. Yes. What's this about a tag? You didn't tell me anything about that. If you'll please calm down. It's no use blaming the prosecutor. He didn't even know this tag existed.
Objection!
Well, it's a good thing he kept it. For better or for worse, this tag's existence has only recently come to light. Neither the prosecution nor you, Your Honor, knew about this before the trial.
But then why is there a tag on this toy? How come this toy has a tag?
The answer is simple. There's a tag on this stuffed animal. The toy was swapped. Isn't that the same as if we took the wrong toy? There's only one possibility. Al dente, before handing the plushie in to the police, you swapped it for another.
Listen to yourself. Why would I even do something like that? Ridiculo! And that's right. That tag must be a fake.
A fake. Why would you think that?
The chocolate freak must be trying to frame me, that's what it is.
Objection!
Mr. Smiles has no motive to do something like that.
Objection!
No motive? It doesn't require much thinking to come up with. He wanted attention. Yes, what he said. The guard lied to show off, that's all there is to it.
Johnny produced bogus evidence to draw attention to himself? Nah. It's an interesting theory, but it's impossible.
And how do you know? You, I'll dice you like an onion.
Anyway. Is Mr. Smiles lying? There's an easy way to find out.
How do you plan to check it?
Checking the fingerprints, of course.
Fingerprints? Ah!
According to Mr. Smiles' testimony, when he sees Miss Cantabella, she was holding the tag in her hand. Therefore, her fingerprints should still be on that tag. Easy enough.
Bailiff, have this evidence investigated immediately. That was awesome, Nick. We've almost got her now.
Mr. Flinch, I have a question for you.
What is it?
When you searched the crime scene, did you find a toy without a tag?
Well, Mr. Flinch, did you? No, we, considering the circumstances, it did not seem necessary to investigate quite so thoroughly. But at the very least, I can tell you that all the toys in the crate had tags on.
Excuse me, Your Honor.
What is it, Miss Wright?
It appears no stuffed animal was found without a tag, which means that it may still be hidden at the crime scene.
Ah!
Your Honor, the defense requests that the ship be searched thoroughly this time. Send a forensics team there immediately.
You're requesting... Oh, wrong place. You're requesting another search.
Objection!
What? Surely, you can't be serious. Whether the toy was swapped or not, it doesn't matter in the least. They're all the same. Any of them will do just fine.
That's exactly why it's important. All these plushies are the same. There's no need to swap one for another. And yet, she did. Why is the witness getting so worked up about it?
That's just...
I had a feeling there was something odd about this case. This stolen stuffed animal and an assault connected to it? There had to be more to it. There had to be another crime under the surface. I love the 3D and seeing Maya there and how she's looking at him. Let's go. Nick! Sit. Request the search. Your Honor, the defense insists on a search. Should a plushie without a tag be found on the ship, then there's a strong possibility that this case will be resolved.
Objection!
The prosecution does not acknowledge the need for...
Oh gosh. She's got bigger fish to fry.
You can't! No, you can't search it again! You just can't!
If that's not proof enough to search it.
Witness.
Miss Al Dente, why did you swap the stuffed animal? And why are you so afraid of having the ship searched? PC Badger holds all the answers. I say, Mr. Wright, I think that there's something inside of him. Could it be the jewels? Could it be that you already know the reason behind the swap? Of course, I don't have any definitive proof. But when it comes to pointing out a possibility, I might have something. Very well then, let's use some evidence. Do you have any evidence that would explain why Miss Alfrente is against the search?
Take that!
There's a certain article in this newspaper. News of jewel thieves at large in London, Scotland Yard on red alert. Oh, that's robbery. I've heard about it, of course. A group of thieves robbed a jewelry shop and made away with about 50 pieces of jewelry. Many extremely valuable stones were stolen as well. Scotland Yard's under great pressure to find them.
All packages sent out from London are being scrutinized by the police. And what does it have to do with our case? Nothing.
Except packages. I beg to differ. The jewel theft took place in London. And that's where our freighter picked up its cargo.
London. It can't be. Witness.
That night, you discovered the defendant in the cargo hold. She was holding one of the plushies. You knew you had to get it back. You had to get it back at all costs. Why go so far for a mere plushie? There's only one possible reason. You couldn't afford to have the police discover what was inside of it. I think I just won. We have just received a report from the team investigating the crime scene. This toy was hidden between a storage unit and a pipe. Ah! The toy has been cut open and the contents examined. And this was found inside. A pink diamond worth approximately 100,000 pounds? Is that the symbol for pounds? It would make sense.
We have also received a report from the crime lab. The defendant's fingerprints have been found on the tag.
Do you have anything to say, Miss Al Dente? Ouch. I lost, didn't I?
So you are.
Yeah, I'm one of them. I'm one of the jewel thieves.
My role was to get the loot out of London. The police never checked the regular shipments from that workshop. We decided to take advantage of that blind spot. Indeed, the regular direct delivery service has been overlooked by the police. Possibly because that workshop produces the very mascots representing the police. The other crew had nothing to do with it. I used their ship, that's all. It was you who hid the jewels inside of the plushies. There was one jewel in each toy. I was carrying them away one by one. The defendant happened to pick one of those toys up. I had my yard stand still when I saw that girl in the cargo hold. Whenever I was free, I stood guard in front of that room, and yet she got in somehow. So there she was in the room with the hidden loot, one of the toys in her hand. So how did Espella get in there? I don't know if she was trying to steal the toy or what, but I just had to get it back from her, no matter the cost. Then I handed in a different toy. I made it look like it was ripped in the fight. It would have been over for me if the police had found any of the jewels. I think she was a stowaway. I think she was in that crate. I think that's how Espella got in there. She was already there. But, wait. Who was it in the end? Who hit Olivia? Oh, I almost forgot about that.
At first, I thought it must have been that little girl that hit me.
Oh, wait, she doesn't know? I thought she was going to say, like, oh, I hit myself. I rammed the back so that everything would be.
But now I don't know.
You don't know?
No one else was supposed to be in that room.
Maybe she wasn't the one in the crate. I don't know.
But what if there was someone in the shadows?
One of the witches.
Some mischievous person hidden in the darkness.
This was a most unusual case. It cannot be said that all mysteries have been resolved, but it has become clear that Miss Cantabella is innocent. Well then, Mr. Wright. Yes, Your Honor? It would seem that I owe you thanks for helping us see the truth. No need to thank me, Your Honor. I was just doing my job. Like I always do. Is that really the smartest thing you could come up with? And Mr. Flitch. Yes, Your Honor. This trial was part of the Legal League of Attorneys Exchange program, wasn't it? May this trial serve as a lesson for you, too. Is that understood?
Ooh. It is as you say, Your Honor. Don't look, don't look, don't look, don't look! Without my glasses, I can't see, and I don't want to be seen. Where are you, where are you, where are you, where are you?
Okay. Well then. The court has reached its verdict. I pronounce the defendant Espella Cantabella not guilty. Yay! Confetti. The crowd goes wild. Congratulations! You did it, Nick! Yeah, thanks. I guess I should be happy. Mr. Law? The Dark Law's cold gaze is staring daggers through me. Thank you, Mr. Wright. You are better than I thought. Had I known earlier, I would have asked you to prove Espella innocent from the very start. Would you have? I don't know. I don't know whether I trust you. I'm glad you're happy about the verdict. Espella, come and thank Mr. Wright. The book. Wait, how does she have the book? Don't Layton and Luke have the book? No, they disappeared with the book on the ground. Thank you, Mr. Wright. Glad I could help. Hey, Espella. What's that big book you've got there? Oh, please forgive
forgive her. She's a bit shy, you see. She's very fond of books. At any rate, now Espella can return to her peaceful life at our boarding school. And it's all thanks to your hard work, Mr. Wright. Now please excuse us. We have some formalities to attend to. Yes, of course. Mr. Wright, you were truly outstanding in that portrait. Farewell. Okay. Phew, it's finally over. You know, something's still bothering me about this case. Of the person who hit Olivia, where did they go? It's true. We don't know who actually assaulted Olivia. If it wasn't Espella, there must have been another person at the crime scene. But neither Olivia nor Johnny saw anyone else. The room was dark, save for the emergency light. I'm sure someone hid in the shadows. And Johnny was wearing sunglasses. I'm amazed he saw anything at all. He missed all those clues, so it's not much of a stretch to imagine he missed the perpetrator, too. How about we head back now? Okay, let's go check out Tower Bridge while we still have some daylight left. Really not asking for burgers? She spoke. It's voice acting time.
What is it, Maya?
There, on the couch. Isn't that Espella's book? It is the book she was holding. We should return it to her.
Uh-oh.
Hey, Nick, let's see what kind of stuff Espella likes to read.
Yep, we gotta get in there too, I guess.
Just quit it, Maya.
Labyrinthia, huh?
What? Huh? Maya, look!
Hey, Nick, look, that's us, isn't it?
And so now we're in there too. All right, we've got them both in Labyrinthia, or all four of them, I guess I should say. But both pairs, both teams. No, my Pickerots! I could have had more. I could have had more. That's okay. I had the right idea. I just I presented on the wrong sentence. But she was talking about the toy, you know? Anyway. I guess that's it for this time. So, yeah. That's how it's going to play out. So I can only expect that I will see Layton and Luke again for investigation. And that we will enter Labyrinthia and get some things going. Now, this was considered the prologue, so I don't know whether that means like, oh, it's the prologue, it's shorter than the other chapters. I guess we'll find out when we go through the other chapter, or go through the chapters and see a longer adventure, maybe. So you'll see with the timestamps on each of the episodes how long they are. But yeah, I guess that's that. So hope you're enjoying. Next time we're in Labyrinthia, and we'll see what kind of trouble and chaos our characters get into, and whether Espella is going to come back, because that was really weird, and she was all hypnotized and stuff. It's very strange. So hopefully we'll find out what's going on there, too. Alrighty. Well, anyway, stay tuned, subscribe, do all that stuff, and I will talk to you guys next time.